is, for me, it's frustrating. For me, illusion of choice, boundaries, gating, essentially, and abundance of cooldowns. Abundance of cooldowns are all frustrating things. Very frustrating. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm your host Gyro. Today we are taking a very quick look at the abilities of Dracthea Evoker Preservation spec, healing spec of Dractheas. Very quickly, not pretending to be an expert, because I do not generally play healers other than druids on a good day. And but I thought that Dractheas are only almost upon us. We already started looking at Devastation spec, the wannabe mage, so to speak. Take a look at that video if you have missed it from me. But today we are having a very quick look at Preservation. Dracthea Evokers in Preservation spec have 18 abilities at level 63. Yeah, maybe more at the top level. At level 63, right now I have 18 abilities, yes, I spent time counting them, that are related to healing your target or damage mitigation by rewinding the time or doing some other stuff. Once again, 18 abilities related to healing. Yeah, and within those 18 abilities, there is a second layer of this. There are 7 abilities on a cooldown of 1 minute or longer, so they are major-ish cooldowns that are related to healing within those 18. Just wrap your heads around this, and hopefully you will know where I'm going with this. It is a very overburdened healer class that contributes to the mixed identity of this class. It doesn't know really who it wants to be. So putting it simply, my friends, I do believe that we are looking here at the very first iteration of a digital product, so to speak, that Dractheas are as a class in World of Warcraft being introduced. And in this case, I'm struggling to think that the 18 abilities that you are by design supposed to be using, otherwise why they are there, with so many major cooldowns and so many abilities that are supposed to be somewhere on your bars, I cannot imagine this not being pruned sometime in the future. And until that happens, for me personally, unless I want to gimp myself and my group by being like a quarter of a healer that Blizzard wants me to be if I'm playing an Evoker in Preservation spec, I'm just not going to put that menace slash pressure slash lacking performance onto my teams by playing Preservation spec. I'm refusing to play it. I'm absolutely refusing to play it. So with that out of the way, first of all, I always look, I don't pretend to be an expert, like I already said. It is just an honest opinion of a slightly frustrated casual player, but a veteran of the game, who was looking forward to this. I was looking forward to a lot more defined, a lot more tanky, a lot more draconic, I want to play it, DPS spec, and I was hoping to dear Lord that they are not going to overcomplicate the healing spec either, but they did. In my humble opinion, as I just said to you, how is it not a complicated spec if they have given us 18 healing abilities with 7 major cooldowns? Come on, man. That is my point on this. Let's take a look at the abilities themselves and if there is anything cool about them or anything potentially worthy of kind of mentioning to you. Well, let's start with the obvious. Obvious is, first of all, as a Devastator, even as a Devastator in DPS spec of this class, you are already being given 2 core healing abilities, or at the very least one of them is a multi-purpose one, DPS and healing. It's Living Flame and Emerald Blossom. Emerald Blossom is okay, I don't mind it, it's a fairly straightforward use. It kinda is a monk slash druid if Florence wannabe, I suppose, effect, correct me if I'm wrong here. And Living Flame is great because if you target an enemy, it will hurt them. If you target a friendly character, it will heal them. So that's cool, I like that. I'm fine with these two, right? Now, once you spec into Preservation, you are also given an ability called Echo. Echo heals the character, but at the same time it causes your next non-Echo healing spell to cast an additional time, you know, with a slightly reduced amount of healing, but not by massive amount reduced. So 87% I'm looking right now, at least at level 63. That's what I'd be looking at if I was to start healing someone right now with Echo. Alright, what do I think about that? Well, at least there is something unique about it. At least there is something interesting and draconic in terms of, you know, I suppose what they're trying to do here, kind of allusions to Bronze Dragonflight, manipulation of time, echoing, rewinds, and other kind of stuff. What they also have given us, they've given us an empowered ability, one that we can empower, which is called Dream Breath. It is the interesting part about Dream Breath, and yes, credit where credit is due, so this is interesting. Dream Breath talks to Dracthea, how Dractheas are designed. They're all designed around these empowered abilities that shoot or heal in a cone in front of you, and the longer you hold the button, the more empowered it becomes. Except with DPS abilities, it simply pumps out more damage, and with Dream Breath, in this case, healing ability, there is a upfront healing component, which seems generous enough, and then the longer you hold the button, the more it heals instantly and the less it heals over time. That's cool. So here you can sort of see what's happening in the middle of the fight, and you can decide if you want to put a little bit less up front, I suppose, and then you want it to tick on the target a little bit longer, because it might be that type of combat, or if there is heavy damage right now coming in instantly and you need to pump out massive amounts of healing up front rather than let it tick on the target, then you could hold the button a little bit longer, and this Dream Breath is going to heal them for longer. Okay, so that's Dream Breath for you. So far so good, so far it makes sense, and in all honesty, give me a couple of extra abilities to these ones that I mentioned to you and be done with it. And I wouldn't have complained. And I would have thought, that's okay, that's enough for us to master, to have 6 abilities, I don't know, all in all, to heal targets, yeah? Because surely 6 abilities, and I'm just saying abstractly here, 6, 5, 7, I don't know. That is, in my opinion, again, enough for you to master, apply situationally, be, I don't know, like a priest, like a freaking paladin, like, I don't know. But that wasn't enough for the designers of Blizzard, who decided to pack everything and the kitchen sink, as we say, into this bloody thing. So first of all, Preservation Specialization also changes slightly how your Fire Breath works. So Preservation Spec, believe it or not, through talents, allows you to, and I don't know if I'll find it for you right now very quickly here on the spot, but Preservation Spec allows you to... there we go. Fire Breath heals an injured ally for 80% of the damage done, to up to 5 targets. So additionally to your Dream Breath, you can still use your Fire Breath from Devastation Spec to also heal them for a component of whatever is going on. So that also becomes a healing ability, okay? Cool. Now, as I already talked about Devastation Spec, as soon as you start speccing into Preservation, it looks like you have a choice. It looks like you have a choice because it's a tree, right? It's a talent tree. Sort of, if you're very, very, very drunk, it reminds you of Path of Exile, which has a choice, massive amount of choice when you're speccing the passive skill tree points. But oh my god, my friends, you don't have much of a choice. Why? Because there are boundaries. There are kind of boundaries. Let me just unspec backward and demonstrate what I mean. There are boundaries for these. See how right now we have this line here that says spend 3 more points to unlock this row? Well, if I keep unspecking here and going even further up the talent tree, you will see, my friends, that is, I'm talking obviously to people who are not familiar with Dracthea at all. You can see that there are a couple of lines here in the sand that you need to cross before you're allowed to continue speccing downward here, right? What I'm trying to say to you is that before, the game allows you to have a choice and have this seeming freedom of where you want to go, right or left. Do you want to be more of a time rewinding dragon, in preservation spec, or do you want to be more of a direct healer? Green spells versus bronze spells, yes? Well, before you can match this new limit of 12 that I'm pointing at right now, you would have to pretty much fill out not everything, but majority of these seeming choices, but in fact you need to take most of them, if not all of them, before you can cross that line, is my point. So, like, roughly, and we're not doing fine math here, what's frustrating is that it's an illusion of choice. But in order for you to cross this line and get to the juicy stuff here at the bottom of the talent trees, in both devastation and preservation, you have to, you have no choice but to fill out like 2/3 of this. You have to fill out like 2/3 of this selection before it allows you to be the unique little flower that you are in your gentle, lovely soul there. This is an illusion of choice. It frustrates me a little bit because I think it could have been done a lot more uniquely. It could have been giving us a lot more identity as opposed to basically click all of it. It's just a cosmetic thing that gives you an illusion of that choice. Like I said already, sorry, I'm repeating myself several times, but I'm just driving this home as a thought and the point of my personal humble opinion. I don't apologize for it. I'm just stating it as it is. For me, it's frustrating. For me, illusion of choice, boundaries, gating essentially, and abundance of cooldowns. Abundance of cooldowns are all frustrating things. Very frustrating. Echo. Reversion I have to take. I never want to use reversion, but I have to take it to cross this boundary. Do you know what I'm saying? Rewind. I don't want to use bloody rewind, but I have to take it. Spirit Bloom. I have to take it because otherwise I will not progress further down the tree, and that is just how they design. New ability, new ability, new ability, new ability, new ability, new ability. Too many bloody abilities for preservation evokers.
Continue. Bro, this is fire.